Welcome to part 4 of our computer series. This is the second part of assembly. Again, this is Alex, and we're going to talk real quick about the last few parts that you have to install in your computer to make it work. In the other video, remember that you always should have one arm or something from your body touching the edge of the box, just so that you don't shock the motherboard with your static electricity, because that can just completely short circuit everything. First part we're going to install in this section, now that we have our video card, our heatsink, and our RAM installed, is we're going to install the hard drives. So that's these things here, as I'm sure you've learned in another video. So one of them actually sits under the disk drive, which I'm circling right now. I'll do it in a different color so you can see it here. So it sits underneath that, and you can see actually how it's installed right here. It's like a little slot. There's no screws or anything. All you have to do is make sure that the edges of the hard drive, which are these little blue things here, fit into a little slot here, and then it just slides in and pops into place. So that's going to be a little trial and error. As long as you have the silver part facing up like we do, towards the top of the box, you should be okay. The second one, you may have already caught it right here, is under the power supply. So this one again, same thing. As you can see right here, there are screws on the edges on all sides. Those screws, again, they just pop into place, so they fit in a certain way, and then you just kind of shove it in. The next part of the installation that we're going to do is the CD drive. This one again is very simple. So you can see this is the CD drive right here sitting on the counter. And it's the same one that's right here on top of that hard drive. So again, same thing, a lot of this computer build is really just a pop in place kind of thing. So on the edges of the CD drive, you're going to see little screws, the same ones that were on the edge of the hard drive, and they're going to pop and slide right into place in this little track here. The only thing that's different with this one from the other one is make sure that you push down on this little green tab. That will allow for everything to be seated into place, and you'll know you have it in the right place once it clicks in. So the last and probably most difficult part of the entire computer build is installing the power supply. So popping it into place just like the hard drive and the CD drives, not too much of an issue. So it just kind of sits in these tracks here. If you look where that picture just moved. So it's kind of on a hinge. Once you get it into place, you'll be able to seat it up like this. So in this picture here, it's actually down into its proper position. But in this one here, it's kind of popped up just because it is on that hinge. So to put it back into place, you have to actually slide it in this way first. Once it's in there and you pop it down and you push everything down, there's a little bit of wiring to do. This is why I said it was going to be the most complicated part. So first thing you want to do is there's going to be one big wire, this white piece right here, and then two other pieces. They only fit in certain spots, and you can just kind of look for where they're supposed to click into. They're very obvious. So that big white one is actually right here. That powers the entire motherboard. There are also two other smaller ones. There are only certain slots that they will fit in, so they're not very difficult to find. They're all color-coded as well. So this one actually sends power to the entire motherboard. Next thing you're going to want to do is put the first little power outlet into the disk drive. So that's this top piece right here that I'm circling. So you can see that the input right there for the power is right in that space right there. These two next little inputs, or I guess powers, are going to go directly into the hard drive. So they split off. One goes into the hard drive A, or the main hard drive, and the other one goes into the secondary one. This doesn't really matter. This is only power. There's no data flowing through this, so it doesn't matter which way you put it in. And then finally, this little white one here goes back into the motherboard to complete the loop for the power from the power supply. Now, one thing I didn't mention in the other part of the video with the hard drives is this orange cable here. So that orange cable is going to go to your main hard drive. So that's the one that actually is going to house Windows. So make sure that that one goes into the proper slot here, or you're going to get a boot error. So it's the bottom left one if you're looking from the side. It really is just trial and error with this one. If you do get a boot error, you can pop them out and try them in another slot until it works. It shouldn't be an issue.